Sometimes being a warrior comes at a heavy cost. And make no mistake about it, for the next 2.5 months in this country, it's going to be a war. The latest design from the Florida Maquis Mask Store lets people know what side you're on. Some people ask, I wonder if God is on this side or on that side, when really, all you need to worry about is you being on God's side. Now, here's what the mask looks like in the store. Once again, with this one, like I did with the mask yesterday, I have overlaid the images onto the actual colors of the masks, so you can get this one in black. For ladies, there's one in pink. I got one in green. Not a huge fan of that one. The red one really stands out. And then there's also one in navy that's not too bad. So, anyway, if you want to get one of these, it's available now. Limited time. The masks are selling like crazy. Thank you. God bless all of you who have come to the Florida Maquis store and purchased these. It's really made a big difference. I wish I had a way to say thank you to all of you in person. This will be the 40th mask we've designed. If there is any kind of a desire in your life for something that's going to stand out, something that's going to pop, something that's going to send a message, this is the place to get it right here. We have them of all shapes and sizes, really, no matter what. Now, those of you who joined us over at Twitch last night got quite the entertainment. We had started the night thinking we were going to defend our fortress at Nernan, and when we started the defense, everything looked like it was going pretty well, and it looked like we had won. But I want to share with everyone what happened after we defeated all of the attackers. Is somebody really in here?
I reckon that's the last of them, Rose. Another attack will surely come. I hope so. This one was a blast.
You fought very well.
Looks like we get it. What? Really?
Yeah, it is.
What in the world was that? Does this guy not remember me kicking his ass? Yep, that's right. The guy that we had been relying on for advice on how to build our army betrayed us, stabbed us in the back, and we lost the fort. But we regrouped and were able to put a force back together, go back in, and he escaped, and now we are chasing him all throughout Gondor. So join us tonight, just like every night, 8:15 p.m. to 11:15 p.m. for 3 hours. And hopefully tonight we'll be able to track this guy down. Last night was a rough night after that. The character died more than once. And if you want to watch the video, all of the past live streams are available on my Twitch channel. We have 270 followers now, and actually 14 subscribers. One level tier 3, two level 2s. Sorry about that. We have one tier 3 subscriber, two tier 2 subscribers, and I believe 12 tier 1 subscribers. And that's just in our first 12 days. Some channels take years to build. So would love to see you there. Would love to be able to share all that with you. In today's video, though, there's something being missed in this argument about Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Many are aware that way back during the debates, the Democratic debates, she kind of lit into the guy. She really did, and accused him of some things that didn't disqualify him from being a parentheses D candidate. They disqualified him from being any candidate from either party. You see, that's what was missed. She wasn't saying during the debate that his racism and sexism disqualified him as a parentheses D. She was saying that it disqualified him, period. Meaning he shouldn't have been a public servant. Now, believe it or not, accidentally, Stephen Colbert, believe it or not, accidentally did some reporting by asking her about this and saying, how can you go from only a short time ago being such a passionate opposer of this man on issues that are so personal to you to now standing with him and saying people should vote for him? And she really couldn't answer it. She said, well, it's a debate. It's a debate. They weren't debating democratic principles. They were debating human principles. Now, I want to share this clip from this debate because Joe Biden says something that nobody caught. And what it really shows is how far he has moved over his career from the center to the middle. I have this sped up to 1.25. It's only about 3 minutes in regular time, so this will only take a couple minutes to hear. But it's important to listen to this.
And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me. So I will tell you that on this subject, it cannot be an intellectual debate among Democrats. We have to take it seriously. We have to act swiftly. As Attorney General of California, I was very proud to put in place a requirement that all my special agents would wear body cameras and keep those cameras on. Senator Harris, thank you. Vice President Biden, you have been invoked. We are going to give you a chance to respond. Vice President Biden.
It's a mischaracterization of my position across the board. I did not praise racist. That is not true, number one. Number two, if we want to have this campaign litigated on who supports civil rights and whether I did or not, I'm happy to do that. I was a public defender. I didn't become a prosecutor. I came out, I left a good law firm to become a public defender when in fact my city was in flames because of the assassination of Dr. King. Number one. Now, number two, as the Vice President of the United States, I work with a man who, in fact, we worked very hard to see to it we dealt with these issues in a major, major way. The fact is that in terms of busing, you would have been able to go to school the same exact way because it was a local decision made by your city council. That's fine. That's one of the things I argue for, that we should be breaking down these lines. But so the bottom line here is, look, everything I've done in my career, I ran because of civil rights. I continue to think we have to make fundamental changes in civil rights. And those civil rights, by the way, include not just only African Americans, but the LGBT community.
Okay, what he said there that was so important was Kamala Harris was able to do the busing thing not because the federal government said it was okay or that it was necessary, but because it was a decision made at a local level. See, this is very personal for me because it's states' rights. And even within the scope of states' rights, localities, as a libertarian, I believe should override what the state says if they believe it to be better for their interest. Now, listen very closely to what she tries to corner him on, this little bit of detail.
Vice President Biden, do you agree today that you were wrong to oppose busing in America?
No,
do you agree?
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education.
Literally what he's saying there is he opposed busing ordered by a federal government agency. Now, this is the part here that's so important. This is years and years and years and years ago. Decades ago. I was just a little tiny child when this happened. This is what that party used to believe in. States' rights. He was opposed to the federal government getting involved in it. He said this is something that should be left to the states. And that was his position then. Now, not so much. Listen to what she says now.
That's what I opposed.
Well, there was a failure of states to integrate public schools in America. I was part of the second class to integrate Berkeley, California public schools almost 2 decades after Brown v. Board of Education.
Because your city council made that decision. It was a
so
local
that's
decision.
where the federal government must step in. That's why we have the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. That's why we need to pass the Equality Act. That's why we need to pass the ERA, because there are moments in history where states fail to preserve the civil rights of all
I've
people.
supported the ERA from the very beginning.
Okay, so this should tell you everything you need to know about Kamala Harris. She believes that if states don't make decisions the way that she agrees with, that it's the federal government's job to step in and fix it. Now, these are the same people that said if Donald Trump uses the federal government to step in and stop the riots, that's inappropriate. How can the both of those things be true? She believes right here, and she just said it in a very recent debate, that when the states fail to do this or that or the other in a way that the federal government doesn't see as right, it's the job of the federal government to step in and interfere with the functioning of states, even though they oppose Donald Trump doing that when it comes to the riots and protecting businesses and protecting the civil rights of the innocent. You have to wonder, Joe Biden made that comment about that, about the LGBTQ community. Wasn't there just a story about a transgender woman that got attacked by a BLM mob? I wonder if Donald Trump had stepped in on behalf of the rights of those innocent people with federal troops to put down these riots, if we could have saved that woman being attacked or that transgender person being attacked or anyone else who's been attacked and their civil rights. Can anyone out there who's supporting the Biden-Harris or the parentheses D ticket tell me how that's not hypocritical of them to say, no, Donald Trump, it's bad for you to take the federal government and stop these riots, but in the case of civil rights, what we call civil rights, it's very appropriate for the federal government to step in and order states to move kids all around so that all of the schools look like we think they should look. Which is more important, the physical safety of people or how the demographics of school looks? See, based on her logic, civil rights, everybody in the entire country would have the right to attend school in St. Johns County, Florida. Why St. Johns County? It's #1 school district in the whole country. The best schools, the best K-12 schools in the entire country are found in St. Johns County, Florida. It's a little county just southeast of Jacksonville. It takes Nocatee, St. John's, Fruit Cove, St. Augustine, this region. Now, it's a very wealthy region, a lot of money. The schools here are top of the line. Incredibly nice, sophisticated schools with the best teachers. And based on what she just said, people from New Jersey should have a civil right to have their kids educated here. And it should be the government's job to make that happen. But it's not, according to them, the federal government's job to stop a riot that might put them at risk. Hypocrite much? And nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about the immense, insane hypocrisy here. How on one hand, they want heavy-handed federal government, but on the other hand, when it literally comes to saving people's lives and protecting cities and property, they believe it's inappropriate of the federal government to step in. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Wanted to point this out, and wanted to point it out using their own words. So, I guess I will just leave this there. Like, share, subscribe. Please join us at Twitch. It's really a great time. We can talk about all sorts of things. Directly, we can interact. You can ask me questions, and I do my best to respond to them. Those of you who show up and subscribe and do the cheering and all that, I am working on getting an iPad so that I can watch in real time as you guys do that. Since I'm streaming on a PlayStation, all I can really see are comments. And I see a very limited version of the comments. I don't get notifications about followers or subscribers until the end of the stream when I am able to shut everything off and go back to the computer. Working on fixing that, though. Everyone who is subscribed, everyone who follows, thank you so much. I fixed the problem with AutoMod, so it's not going to redact your comments anymore. I just took all the filters off. So anyway, I hope everyone has a great night. We will see you in a few hours over on Twitch. And once again, get yourself a mask. Get yourself a mask not because you think it's going to protect against the virus. Get yourself a mask so that you can join the fight. So that you can go out and you can let people know who's really going to win this election this fall. Like, share, subscribe.